Hello, hello, friends, and welcome to the NECC week number 2. It's Rocket League time. It's Friday evening. I'm Relic, joined by Galgan. We'll have some plentiful friends join us along the way. A big shout out to production, by the way, though, Galgan, because today is an experimental day. Yes, indeed. Usually we just see 1 or 2 matches, maybe 4 if we're feeling fanciful. But today we're going to try and cram in as many matches as possible in one moment in time. Should be exciting.
Listen, I've always been a proponent of more Rocket League, the better. This does somewhat border on the line of these new social media trends you see where you have to consume 3 clips at the same time to keep your attention going. But at a certain point, it does get entertaining because we get to feature more schools at the end of the day and make sure that everybody gets their shot at being on stream. We'll see just how many matches we have lined up for this first slot of the night when we get to it, but I believe for the time being, Relic, we are headed to one match in particular that is ready and raring to go. The players do not want to waste any more time. That one specifically, Clark University Red versus the Holy Cross Crusaders, the Battle of Massachusetts. Both those teams vying for positions on that Emergence New England table. We'll see just how they fare.
Yeah, so Emergence, of course, if you are new to NECC, what on earth does Emergence mean? Well, we do have a number of tiers here at NECC. You've got Navigators, which is your bottom all the way up to sort of Champions level. Emergence, very much what it says on the tin. These players are looking to rise above the bronze, silver, gold level and maybe go knock on the doors of your champs, of your Champ 2s, maybe looking towards the SSL level. But it's going to be exciting, of course, Galgan. As you said, a bit of a Massachusetts derby here. Clark University red, rather ironically in the blue, and Holy Cross over in the yellow.
And here we are as well in the command center of sorts. You see that lovely wall that we have built up behind us, and we'll see just how many more matches we can add on to the tally as we go. But for now, our sole focus is here on this series. All of these regular season matches, best of 5s, by the way, and a little dip behind the curtain as well. Mention that this is an Emergence New England matchup. We've got Clark University, who are 0-1, but it was a close series against WPI Crimson that saw them lose in the first opportunity. Holy Cross, on the other hand, not as fortunate. A sweep formed against them by the NEC Grims in this division. So both teams looking for the rebound here, and it's Dr. Iceburn who will get Holy Cross up on the board first.
Yeah, Iceburn with a bit of a cold snap, and gotta say, that's a lovely bit of movement from moving mountains to ensure that that ball heads central. And with that defense looking a little bit loose from Clark University, you've reached the ball, now you've got to shoot it away from the keeper whilst remaining on target. It's a lovely bit of work here, and Clark University almost able to get back on the board. So you might have noticed me in my varsity jacket today. I'm sort of sitting back, I'm sort of relaxed. This is going to be the vibe for today, folks. Vibe check, only W's in here. The wall is behind us. It's sort of like we're all inside the school hall, and we've got like the projector like up on the back wall. We're watching a big movie. It's just a bunch of Rocket League matches. Nothing much too different there, but we might have a different scoreline in a little bit. Clark University with so many opportunities, Galgan, but unable to put the ball away. Holy Cross on the defensive, though.
I don't know, Relic, in that pass stretch to me, you sound like you're holding that skateboard by the trucks, asking, how do you do, fellow Rocketeers? You know, we'll get with the vibe surely as soon as we can, but right, this match specifically, I mean, to think about what will transpire as this goes on, Fake with a nice shot here, you're going to see a couple of moves that are reminiscent of that, you know, high champ to low grand champ area where these players have peak performances and they are able to perform when necessary, but it's all about consistency. They may hit one amazing shot a game, but that will come packaged with 10 misses earlier on.
Only wicked cool goals here. By the way, anybody who can get Data Koiserang's official like tag and let me know how to say it correctly, thank you. Here he comes again. The turquoise orang. There you go. He scored anyway. It's 2-1.
I'd like to picture just a turquoise orange just sitting on a tree. I'm not really sure how we get there. If it's food coloring, if it's some sort of, too much sun, too little sun. I'm no food expert, I guess, as you could put it, but I'm sort of, questioning how that would be naturally occurring. I have to imagine that it's not, but it is a very unique username.
Well, the turquoise, the orang part almost reminds me of like orangutan as well, like a monkey, but there's no monkeying about here. That is a third goal on the board, a second from Dr. Iceburn. His prescription, shoot towards the net when nobody's in it, Galgan, and it seems to work.
And it's great that the prescription is legible enough to understand for us, because this game has not slowed down at all. 4 goals in the first half. Teams are chomping at the bit to set themselves out in front early on, and Holy Cross especially, they're getting aggressive with this one. Couple of pre-jumps in the middle of the field. They want to hammer home any bit of aggression that they can, and look at that, another challenge through as well. Dr. Iceburn searching for bodies there in the bottom of the box, doesn't find any, but Holy Cross still with a good bit of possession in their hands to the back wall, however, and the double nearly lined up, not to be. Follow-up shot through, just wide of the target.
Oh. Threatening, but once again, it feels like Clark University, they require a lot more chances created before they finally put one away. Holy Cross not requiring any prayers as of yet, looking pretty pristine here heading into the final 1 minute 45. And just a general reminder as well, all the series that you see here today, they're best of 7s, and so potentially 45 minutes slogfest in store for these players. Of course, I think the obvious objective for any one of these teams, get yourself a sweep. Sorry, not best of 7. What am I talking about? It's best of 5. It's madness here. It's nuts. But 3 is the magic number. Oh, never mind. 3 is a magic number, but only because Clark University, they've found a second Galgan. All of a sudden, game on.
One step closer to that magic number. I didn't want to stop you. You were spinning such a fantastic tale about the epic battles.
Nonsense.
The epic battles and the lengths that these teams go to best each other. But yes, best of 5. Oh my goodness, I'm tripping on my own words because I'm so caught up on 3 being the magic number. Will it be for Holy Cross, however, as they've been sat on that 3-goal total for quite some time? And Clark University have everything to do here to try and equalize at that 3rd mark. Nice blocks here from Killstar. The moving 3 will try to bring some back into Holy Cross's control, and it is so.
I was waiting for the opportunity to say, have they missed the Kent from that name? It's actually Clark Kent University. Who's going to be the person who makes the super shot man? But unfortunately, my hopes have been dashed once again. A 2-goal lead opening up once again. Moving 3 involved in the play forward once again. Holy Cross simply too good going forward. Clark University have looked good as well. That's a nice demo play potentially, but all of their players are in the wrong place to eventually get that final shot away. Clark University getting goals, Galgan, but laboring to do so.
And it's the Holy Cross attempting to exclaim that they have a power greater than any superhero could imagine to hold. As Clark University, everything to do to bring this one back into their control if possible. Looking just to equalize, though, to kick things off would be a nice foot in the door. They've got control. No shot, however, as the initial attacker is wide of the ball in that Dominus. It is a 3-strong clear here and a slow one at that, but it's all to do to hold on to the ball just a little while longer for Holy Cross. They've got the win nearly wrapped up in game 1 of this best of 5, and with the time off the clock, it is secured. Down to the ground we go. And it will be Holy Cross grabbing game 1 of their series here against Clark University Red.
Yeah, the shepherds arriving, delivering their gifts, gold, frankincense, and an early dub, Galgan. That's the most important gift of all. 4-2 was a good game. In all honesty, I thought both sides were super enjoyable to watch, but it kind of rolls back to that final point that I was making before you so wonderfully brought us home. Clark University with a similar shot count, in fact only one less than Holy Cross, but it felt like those shots were so much harder to work for than Holy Cross, and perhaps that does speak of a team that's working or trying a little too hard in the midfield to confuse their opponents, and because they're almost not tripping over themselves, but they're almost overselling themselves in the midfield, Holy Cross finds those shot opportunities a lot easier to come by, and if it's on target, then more likely than not that Clark University rotation a little bit stretched and it should be converted.
Right on it there. Exactly. Quality versus quantity is often a debate that's brought up when it comes to this conversation of teams that are so close to each other. And I know it just flashed on screen, but we do have our lovely little bug there that tells you some scores from other series. JWU Yellow versus WPI Crimson, and Misericordia University Cougars up against Marywood University. Some other matches that we are keeping our eyes on here in this first set of the night. But to focus back here, since this series remains the point of our focus, quality versus quantity, but the quality of shot opportunity obviously doesn't just come from the shot itself, but what precedes it. Right off the kickoff, it only takes 5 seconds, and Holy Cross are back in front.
Oh, that's a feels bad moment for Kills, who stumbled out of net at the wrong time. By the moment that he saw that was a chip shot towards his net, instantly turning around, hoping to find some saving grace there, but unfortunately just lacking the mechanical quality to get up and make the block. Even then, there was a good shadow striking opportunity like this one, for example. Great work there from Orang to defend this one away, and down into the midfield it goes. Clark University already behind, and Holy Cross can sit a little bit defensively. Double commits like this, not going to be too much hassle. Managing to get it away from the defender, and at this point Holy Cross just looking to try and find a bit of possession here, trying to control the game after such an early fortuitous goal.
And it has been just past 30 seconds, but you're right on it. Holy Cross feel like they have the control right now of possession. Haven't really seen Clark stage anything of their own. The clears are only finding other orange cars here. As Clark University, it's now Killstar to take to the sky. Good touch from the ceiling. Opens up a bit of space. Forced Holy Cross into some awkward positions. Now you've got two stacked up in the corner. What do you do from here? A soft lob isn't going to cut it past Fake, who's up for the first, but no boost for the second into the middle. And Dr. Iceburn with the clear aside. Holy Cross doing what they need to get the ball clear. Turquoise Orange does not have the boost necessary. I feel like that's a pretty common thing I'm saying here for Clark University. The resources not quite there, but Killstars throwing them into a frenzy.
And it's Kill who was the one who was watching helplessly as that ball trickled into his own net, and it does require a little bit of help from Dr. Iceburn to get it into the opposition net, but it's an equalizer. It's something to hold on to. We talk about the turquoise orange. Well, it certainly felt like some fresh juice. They were squeezing that defense, and eventually they get their reward.
Now trying to gain more benefits from such, but put against the back wall once more. And all too common sight here in the second game is trying to extricate themselves from the middle of the field. Solid play here to get moving three out on the boxed out play as Turquoise Orang again with another opportunity to look at this one through the corner. It will be Dr. Iceburn to clear aside Killstar with the block. Seen that rotation before, doesn't really bring the same level of respect there. Holy Cross able to shut it down rather quickly, and Clark University again being shown that they're going to have to work just a bit harder here. Good double, however, resilient from Sejon, but no goal on the bookend.
Yeah, Clark University knowing that their destiny's in their own hands. That's a shot. It's off the crossbar, and it's away via the turquoise orange. See John here now moving forward through the side wall. Wait. It's almost too good a chance, and unfortunately it's taken too long to get that shot away. Unfortunate. Clark University looking a lot better in this final third, though.
Plenty of chances, but whenever you get to this emergence division and you just see these players waiting and waiting and waiting, you know that they just need to be a bit more proactive. But on the flip side, that proactivity can lead to the pre-jumps and the misses that come with. One little mistake, it's opened up, and Holy Cross want to try and counter, but for all intents and purposes, the past minute has looked much better for Clark University. They've had plenty of solid looks here. Just need to find that finishing touch here. Somebody to get the accurate shot on target. They don't want to wait too long lest the opportunity be wasted and gone away for Clark University. But with 2 minutes to play, it certainly is looking better for them. Control from the mid, looking for the infield passes. Clark University starting to put the pieces together.
Look, you want to ask your crush to prom You don't know the answer until you ask. You gotta go for it sometimes, and maybe you might be embarrassed, maybe you'll look a little bit silly, but at least you've given it a go. Clark University certainly feels like for 90% of their total field domination here, they are giving it a go. They're just lacking that final clinical edge to put this game to bed. A second goal certainly would be nice. Oh, CJ John, there is. Oh, it's the moment, the embarrassment though. The banana peel on the face, back into the center, and away it goes. Dr. Iceberg on hand for the Holy Cross. Holy moly, Galgan. Clark University couldn't get closer to a second goal. Oh my goodness, what a back pass.
All the work that Clark University have done, and Sejan doesn't touch the ball when he's meant to, and then touches the ball when he's not meant to. It is devastating for the squad, but here's another one, and no, it's off the far post. It's still awkward. Defense needs to clear. They're forced to double. Now another challenge. It is beneficial, however, to Dr. Iceburn and Holy Cross see themselves away. They've only really had 2 looks on target, but they've been just as threatening as all of the work that Clark University has done because they haven't found the shot just yet. Another bouncer, and it's not sent in. Top corner was the target. Sejan goes away, and the near post denies. Moving 3, a little bit of help as well, and it's utter chaos on the field in the final 30.
What even is this game? Dr. Iceburn heading into the midfield. Oh, it manages to get itself over the turquoise orange into the hands of nobody. There's Killstars to push it into the opposition corner. C. John on the way. Gets inside his own head. Doesn't get the challenge. Moving forward to the Holy Cross. Round the world it goes. Nicely field pass for Fake. Can you believe it? Holy Cross stealing the win from underneath Clark University's nose.
Say it with me, children. Quality versus quantity. We tried to spell this story out heading out of game number 1, and Holy Cross have been biding their time, much against their will, I might think, but they still find the goal in the dying moments of the game and manage to get themselves a 2-game series lead. It was a very patient playstyle, and we weren't sure if it was going to pay off, but the fact that Clark University could not capitalize on the opportunities that they were given absolutely sealed their fate.
All 6 players, it seems, singing from different hymn sheets, but in and amongst the discordant melody, Holy Cross, when it matters most, able to find that high note and get themselves over the line. Still 0-0, of course, in the other 2 series. Unfortunately, no news on those games as we go forward. Misericordia loves company, doesn't it? We're not covering that game, though. We're covering, of course, Holy Cross Crusaders. 1 game away now, Galgan, from securing themselves a 3-0 victory, and Clark University is going to be kicking themselves. Look at that shot counter, 9-5. They did deserve the win, or did they? They had to put the ball in the back of the net another time.
I know. I do hope they stop kicking themselves in order to play this next game, because they will need all of the focus possible. Indications would point us towards a sweep here for Holy Cross, but game 1 being so close in the shot differential. Game 2 this time around, I mean, that argument of did they deserve to win it is a pertinent one, sure, because they heavily outshot their opponents, but at the same time, there's only so many times I can say this without sounding like a broken record. It needs to be quality chances for Clark University. They've got to find shots that are accurate from the moment they touch the ball and not just hope that they, collide with it on a path towards the goal and luck into a Holy Cross defender, maybe getting this one backwards, but Fake has no respect for any of that.
What a read. It's a neutral challenge. Up it pops. And C. John, unfortunately, just feeds it straight into the path of Fake, who pre-read that from about 3 chapters back. Holy Cross. Similar situation to game number 2. Early goal. That's not going to unsettle Clark University. It should hopefully encourage them to, again, show the creativity and the overall calm in that final third to at least hold the possession down. Early goal potentially there. Killstars unable to find it, but hey, early signs looking good for another game of Rocket League here, although Holy Cross looking for their second now. In it goes, the turquoise orange, another save, away it goes. Here's moving 3, double commit, popped up, but perfect for, oh no, that's not a good clearance though. Oh no, here's Dr. Iceburn, smooth as you like, through the wall, on target, surely saved away by C. John.
At this point, I'm not only concerned for Clark University, but for the other two series in this time block. Hopefully they get off of the starting block before we wrap this one up, because holy cross, they've done very well removing themselves from their defensive woes and keeping a clean sheet thus far. It is only 1 minute into game number 3, so all of our chickens shall not be counted just yet. But for Holy Cross, the worrying signs have not shown themselves too evidently here. Clark University has plenty of work left on the tablet in order to bring this one back, as Dr. Iceburn will just lurk right at the top of the box, rent-free for that clearance through. Now looking for a center pass. Turquoise Orange cannot send that on target, however, and while it's a good start for Clark University, that's all they're really finding here. 1 or 2 opportunities in, but the shots are not following.
They're looking for the super bonus off the pinball wizard methodology that they are currently trying to employ. Chaos theory against Holy Cross, who still stand stern. Moving forward, Dr. Iceberg looking for a bit of service into the middle. It goes moving 3, picking up that 100 boost on the way out. He's managed to pick the pockets of the defense here. Infield, nobody quite ready for it. Dr. Iceberg looking for kill. Well, Killstar actually kind of sold himself short there. The ball was never going to end up in his position. You got to go towards it, not away from it. Killstar so does really well this time going forward, managing to snipe his way through the storm effectively, but unfortunately, no infield pass to speak of, and once again, Clark University stuttering as they try to get into top gear.
Feels like the first attacker for Clark University has consistently been put out on an island of their own. I mean, obviously, for lack of looking for the passes as well, as you mentioned, certainly could do well by that, but holy cross, look at this. Moving 3 has picked it all the way through. All 3 Clark University players in one fell swoop. Dr. Iceburn receives a free one right into the lap, and now even this clear will fall right back into the hands of Moving 3, who has no problem beating 2 on the air dribble. No boost, gets it all the way to the crossbar, however, and Holy Cross just feel too comfortable right now, dictating the pace at various areas of the pitch, and plenty of them in this Clark University zone.
I love this micro adjustment from Holy Cross. If you manage to spot it, folks at home, they managed to go a little bit wider, and it's almost like they're casting a net, waiting for Clark University to go for that long clear or that drive forward. Holy Cross are confident enough to deal with it in 1v1 scenarios. They're pretty confident that Clark University are effectively working off lucky chances to move forward themselves, and they're sitting on this 1-0 lead without too much of a sweat. Clark University needs to work a lot harder than this, and with a little bit more synergy at that, to find themselves the equalizer that they so desperately seek.
And it's crazy that we sing this somber tone for Clark University. The fact that it's only 1-0, they could equalize with 1 touch, and that's exactly what they're looking for. The 2 players have passed it up off the back wall. There's the follow-up third shot, but Fake has plenty of time to save it away. One last block. Can anybody turn in time? Fake is not able to get the clear. Killstar with an emphatic block. Here goes Sejan looking for a pass. All of a sudden, Clark University looking a bit more dangerous with their passing plays off of the back wall, but they don't get any goals as a result. More time ticking off the clock now as Fake tries to do it alone, and Holy Cross just have that kind of power over this lobby. All it takes is 1 attacker, and it's Moving 3 to get them their second goal.
Moving 3 seemingly stolen the goal boost of Dr. Iceburn there, and cool as you like, sneaking your way through the defense. I liked what Clark University were going for there in the last 20 seconds, basically trying to up the tempo, force Holy Cross into a couple more mistakes, but Holy Cross just said, okay, we'll play you at your own game. Throws it right back in their face, and now Clark University having to find 2 rather than 1. They need a quick one, and they need it super fast, but 30 seconds, that's enough time to get 1 Galgan. 2, it's a stretch.
Some of our other series in this time block are kicking off, but we will also see the conclusion of this game as well. So we head on to our wider view. You can see on the left side, Holy Cross attempting to close out the series here. Meanwhile, JWU and WPI are going at it. Another Emergence New England matchup. Final seconds, though, ticking off the clock, and there is your dagger. It's Moving 3 again to get it for Holy Cross. So 5 seconds left. The game, the series is sealed, and Relic, this is so huge for the side of Holy Cross to bring their game differential back to 0 after the sweep they faced in week number 1. Certainly looking a lot more confident this time around.
Yeah, get the contract gift out, because this one is done and dusted. 1-1 for Holy Cross, a 0-0 map differential. Make that 4 and make that a wait, no, it is still 3-0. Never mind. Goals doesn't matter. Goals do matter, but not in that context, of course. A shame for Clark University Red, though. They went so close to getting a game win of themselves in game number 2. Just unfortunately kind of ran out of ideas by game number 3, and so they're going to be falling onto 0-2. They're going to be propping up the table with a 2-6 map differential. As we now focus in then on the second series over on Forbidden Temple, of course. It's become a bit of the sweetheart child of the Rocket League Championship Series, replacing my beloved Aquadome. Not to say that this map isn't very pretty. It most certainly is. Just look at those Sakura trees. And look at the state of this game as well, Galgan. 2 apiece, just reached halftime. What a moment to go! Join in as a double commit's just going to make the save.
That's what you love to see from these two teams. Again, from what we know about them, Emergence New England as well. Both of these teams starting 1-0 to contrast what we saw in the previous series. So looking to bolster that currently undefeated record. However, few matches have been played, and a solid push here, taking advantage of the defenders a bit too slow. Will be JWU with a lead.
Helping us out there with the with the clan tag. Thank you very much, and so much appreciated. And what a lovely goal to go with it. Is that an elephant? Cool. Okay. I've never seen an elephant topper before. That's I mean, I've seen loads of Halo toppers before. That was on the rage, I don't know, years ago. Goodness me, I feel old. But no, I tell you what, this game isn't getting old anytime soon. Great quality in the midfield. You can see why these two teams have started their seasons off strong. 1-0, a 3-1 series in the end for JWU Yellow. WPI Crimson picking up a 3-2, a little bit more of a labor of love, that one. So no clean sheets as of yet in regard to series scorelines for these two teams. And I imagine that that's not going to be stopping anytime soon, given just how close these guys are. That's it! Oh, it's a little bit too wide this time for Mancy.
Absolutely. We expect this one to continue to play close, I would imagine. A couple of misses here in the middle of the field. Ansi has plenty of time, scored the goal once we came back in to give the lead for JWU, but can't get anything going here from the corner. Realm for another block, and it does look like this JWU side is doing a solid job of possession control. Midfield presence looks solid. They're receiving pretty much everything that comes to them. A demo doesn't even slow down the push, as now we get into the final minute of play. Another demolition as well, as these teams continue to get aggressive at each other. JWU maintains the ball within their grasp. Ansi again to the corner, steals the boost. Look at how much space is being given to this offense right now. Realm is allowed to roam freely here in the zone. Ace is looking around too, eyeing up the shop, seeing what's for sale, sent to the back wall, and finally a clear comes through. But WPI have all the work to be done to get themselves out of this pickle.
Yeah, WPI have apparently got out the deck chair. They're just sitting back and watching what's happening in front of their nets. And maybe if someone accidentally turns the channel over, then they're going to get up and get that remote control. Goodness me, I feel old once again. But look, this has been an excellent final 2 minutes. A real great demonstration from JWU Yellow in how to lock down a game. I'm going to eat my words, aren't I? Backboard, wait for it. No, Ansi there gets there just in time, wins the race. It's going to go right down the other end. Boom! 4-2.
Great way to get icing on the cake. Beautifully done. It's a unfortunate situation for WPI, but at the end of the day, they lose the game by 2, but they go down in the series only by 1. So you've got to take everything with a grain of salt there. JWU, however, ever since we joined this one, looking pretty confident. I am assured that they know what they're doing offensively. Ace certainly knows. Mr. Matt Games with those 7 shots on target. And if we want to go back to that, quality versus quantity argument, sometimes it doesn't even matter. If a player is shooting that much, you know that there's a bit of a fundamental issue with how you're shutting down things defensively. So WPI will look to mitigate the damage, per se, despite the fact that maybe not every shot finds its way into the goal. They certainly are threatening enough to make the defense shake.
Oh, I don't like to do it, but it's time to bring a student out to the front of class. Yo-Yo with the sub 100 score. And you could definitely see why in those final 2 minutes. Desperation in just trying to hit the ball, perhaps getting a little bit frustrated given how well their opponents were playing. They were camped in their own home in their own half. And when that happens, when you're looking to your teammates to try and relieve the pressure, sometimes that can get to you as a player. I certainly hope that Yo-Yo learns to settle down here in game number 2. There's a long way to go in this series, and it was certainly competitive. They've got some good players here in this WPI Crimson roster, and it's a clean start. It's a clean slate, Galgan, every single time that we head onto the field. It's 5 minutes on the clock, and it's 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Everything that you could hope for if you're WPI, but you've got to take advantage of that situation early and as often as you can. Set the pace. As we know, Rocket League, as much as momentum is a scary word to use in terms of these teams keeping consistent practices over the course of a series, it certainly has a beneficial factor here, as Astrobotic is going to get WPI on the board first. It's a scrappy play out of the corner, received well, and a beautifully done challenge, just staying relevant for that second touch. It's good enough for the bottom corner.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck to go your way as well, and it could not have been more perfectly timed. You will actually notice, here I was saying I hope to see a little bit more calm from Yo-Yo. Being substituted out, Galgan. We don't even see them on the field anymore, and perhaps this is the mental reset that they were looking for here. WPI Crimson with another shot on target. Antsy forced away at the near post here. Looking a lot better here from the orange team. It's almost like the vibe is that this is the team that's been practicing for the majority of time. Of course, remember, it's week 2 as opposed to week 1, so many weeks left to go in this NECC spring split. Nice bump attempt on the keeper there as well, as we see JWU attempt to move forward and find that equalizing goal.
Will be Antsy looking for something down in the center. Everybody a bit hesitant to reach up to this one, which isn't something we've seen too often, leaving that really to the final moment possible, as Duelix will attempt to get this clear out. But again, the lockdown from JWU, they know how to control the pace from the middle of the field. Giving credit though, however, as this one is slipped through, and that's all it takes, I suppose. One errant touch. Everybody has a bit too much faith in Mr. Matt Games to get something going there. Awkward off the side, and it's all it takes. A save attempt from Antsy, not going to do it.
The quality of that shot was outstanding, not even recognizing, first of all, the present threat in front of you. The jump has been committed. You shoot low to make sure that that ball continues on its way. But then that was going in either way. Antsy did well to get a piece of it. That was going in the back of the net. Otherwise, it was going to the far corner. Gets in the net either way. That's a really lovely shot from a perfectly, a perfectly decent banana, a perfectly edible banana. Give me some tiramisu, why don't you? Ooh. As they continue to stride forward here, the orange team.
Oh, having the food conversation already. I can only get so hungry watching these players and the appetizing play that they serve us every series. As Antsy trying to cook up a little dish here from the corner. It's a pinch that starts off, and if ever there were a play that I would back a Dominus player to try and pull off when given the opportunity, I feel like it's gotta lead with a pinch. It's just so natural looking for the car body like the Dominus, so I'm glad that Antsy feels comfortable enough to pull something like that off. Certainly seems to be emerging, at least in my eyes, as JWU's most prolific attack starter here.
Onto the backboards, finally onto the defense. Go WPI Crimson, and this surely a goal. It absolutely is. Ace. The defense ripped apart.
It is absolute robbery there from Antsy. Just takes it. No real contest, however, and Ace, Mr. Matt Games, however you want to refer, is ready and waiting at the top of the box to pick that one clean. JWU find their first, well within the realm of possibility to grab a quick second right here, as they have not let up on the throttle just yet. Antsy's waiting in the corner as well. Second touch, very relevant, gets that to pop. It's a tough one to get to at the top corner, just lingering there, ever so tantalizing, but it is not scored for now. Antsy denied yet again by a perfectly edible banana.
Are we witnessing a second half team in effect? Are they really going to do this in Rocket League of all games? You've only got 5 minutes, lads. 2.5 is not much to work with, but they're working with it pretty well. Antsy moving forward. Edible Bernardo with a mistake, and my goodness, that was a pinch away that certainly favors here WPI, as JW once again ramping up the pressure. Demo on the goalie here. Ace goes up high, looking for that second touch. Not going to find the second touch. Good backboard defense. Antsy Now that's a nice defense once again, and Duelix is not going to be able to get away, but there is Edible Banana with a throw downtown.
Always a big gambit to stack yourselves up in the corner like that, play it towards the center and look for the clear, but they've done so in order to keep this one well away from the net for the time being. You can see JWU, they want to set up these passing lanes, but they're forced to go backwards. This looks like an offensive strike if it wasn't on their own target, as now Ansi is trying to push this one through. A little triple commit of sorts between teams for that ball. Astrobotic with a solid challenge here. Plenty of pace to keep with it in the corner, and Banana will come through as well to support the endeavor. 30 seconds to go, however. WPI threatening to level this series right here, right now. Ansi looking for the response. It's Ace to take to the skies. Doesn't find the touch. Does have the flip reset, but it's not going to buy anything as Ansi is the lone defender.
Runaway chance to put this game to bed. Astrobotic! Oh, it's a wonderful pass! Sadly, the miss from Duelix, not able to put the sword into the chest. Still stuck in their own half here, the blue team. They're struggling to figure out what to do with themselves. Realm reaches the halfway line. There's Astrobotic to step in once again. Hits the floor. WPI Crimson ties things up.
All level after 2 games. We sung that tune coming into the series, and it is proving more and more accurate as we continue on. Perfectly Edible Banana making a solid name and a very solid username at that, but more importantly, a prolific effect on this series. Ansi as well is still my player to watch for JWU. Obviously love to see something out of everybody. This is a team game after all, and we are not 1v1ing in a series of 1v1s in order to find out who is the best individual player, but it is nice to see those moments from time to time, and I think both of these teams have players capable of pulling something off on their own. That is a great effort, but it's definitely going to take the whole team. Passing plays are going to reign supreme.
JWU Yellow, Galgan, I don't know whether you agree with me on this one necessarily. They're kind of putting on their best Cloud9 Season 6 of Rocket League Championship Series cosplay. You got Ansi in that gimmick role as the striker. You got Ace in that squishy role, midfield creator, or moving up from the midfield line to pounce onto opportunities that are created. Realm doesn't really have much say in the final third. He's a bit of a torment in that particular realm. Funny guy here, but honestly, that kind of limits them a little bit as well. It does give them that defensive stability, which a lot of teams at this level love to try and achieve, because goodness knows, we saw in that last series, you concede a lot of goals, you are asking for trouble. But it really did put pain to them in that game number 2, because we finally saw in their opponent's WPI a bit of confidence, a bit of synergy. They were able to find each other a little bit easier. But here is Realm, about to put my theory to bed, strides forward, but sadly doesn't find that finish. He only finds a player.
Really trying to strike everything you had built up there, but I do agree with what you're saying. It does seem as though we have a couple of role players here for JWU. Not inherently a bad thing, but it's something to consider in the Emergence division, whether or not, you would favor players to just do what they're most comfortable with, such as Ansi trying to flip reset this one into eternity, or players to try and play for the greater good as a team of 3. Far be it from JWU to change, however, because Realm has hit Ansi with this pass. Look at the pace, second touch. You honestly can't hit that one much better than that.
I'd be getting Ansi too if I was your striker and I hadn't scored in a game, and that has certainly been put to bed. What's it, 5 minutes 45 seconds or so for Ansi to right the wrong and the blue team to take the lead. Ace stuck in his own corner, does really well to flip it out, not over just one but past the second. The pinch up against the backboard isn't exactly what he was looking for. Realm forced into a bit of an awkward launch there, and away they come with the ball now. Duelix gets past Ansi, who manages to win the race over Banana. Nobody ready to receive it just yet. Realm with the pre-jump. Doesn't work out for him quite so well, but Ace is going to fall into... Oh, that's a weak touch. Oh, no, that's really poor. Goodness, thankfully for Ace, Ansi was in place. Oh, God.
They've got a clear going the other way. So a bit of hesitancy on both sides here, needing to find some more security in where they're taking this ball to exactly, as Realm is looking for just that. It's a screamer off the back wall. Tries to connect towards the middle lane, and we'll have plenty of time to contest for this too, but far too often we've seen JWU trying to move backwards with this ball into their own zone, and For one, you love to see the possession control. For another thing, you get these sketchy situations where players like Antsy here, not quite sure how to push this one out. Realm is there to get it down through the sidewall, but both teams kind of locked here, trying to move themselves out back into the center. Antsy to do just that. Not a whole lot of boost, but gets the flip reset anyway, were it not for a shot coming through. Would have been a fantastic opportunity for JWU.
And that is Emergence in a nutshell. Flip reset, couldn't have looked more perfect. Goal, awesome looking goal of that, ready to go in, and then they scuff the flip reset, and it all falls to pieces. Unfortunate, and it does mean that we remain, of course, at 1-0. It does mean that WPI, they're feeling like there's still a chance to get back into this one. Even still, JWU looking a lot better than what we saw in game number 2, or at least the first half of game number 2. Let's put it like that. Nice demo here from Ace. Relieves the pressure on Antsy. Back pass. Hits the backboard again. And finally, some relief of the pressure here. Bernardo goes for the straight shot, and I don't blame him either.
I do not as well. It is certainly a situation right now where JWU are a little staggered, and perfectly edible banana. What a touch here to find to the top side. It falls out to the midfield, and again, everybody's pushed up. The demo sort of clouds the vision. The smoke seeing through the defenders can't quite do it. And we're level now just outside of the 2-minute mark.
Sorry, is this Football Manager? First shot on target, and they managed to score the goal. Oh, how frustrating. Of course, not that the opposition team would necessarily know that a quick flick of the leaderboard would give that game away, but I don't think I'd be flicking the leaderboard on in such a tight-knit affair. Ace, that's wide. Ace picks it up once again. Got some help here, but it falls kindly for Astrobotic, who goes sideways. Dulix loses out to Antsy. Nice second touch. Oh, that's brilliant work from Antsy, and Realm from his own goal mouth runs up to get this one home.
And opportunities like this could be the reason why we may not end up seeing extra time in this series in an affair that seems this close, and it feels like we're destined for at least one OT. A couple of these opportunities have found their way in the later stages of the game that just are a bit of a slip-up. The defense stands strong until the final moment, and everything falls into place for the offense to score, but it's not the most miraculous goal that they could have. It is a great one, to be sure, but for JWU, they are certainly doing their work to step into the spots that WPI are creating in these tiny, tiny little gaps in the defense.
Oh, well read by Realm. Oh, their start goal is a massive miss on the backboard from Astrobotic. Blushes saved for the moment. 60 seconds remain, less than. Realm and Banana, that's towards the net, but the blue team... Oh my god. Well, that happened.
Yes, at some point, you struggle to come up with the words to explain something like that. And yeah, like, put me in that situation, I'm probably doing the same thing. It's an awkward turn to make, but you've got to do the work before that sequence to make sure you're not in that situation. We are tied, however, which still feels correct given the amount of crazy whiffs we've seen on both defensive sides here. With 30 seconds to play, it's anyone's game.
It's the butterfly meme, and the butterfly is Emergence. That's it. That's the tweet. 20 seconds left. 2-2. And as much as that's such a kick in the teeth for JWU, they still look the stronger team. Although that said, surging forward with purpose. Here comes WPI. And it's a gift. It's a gift of a gift. It's a freebie. But that's a miss from Banana. Forward they come. All three blue players in the final third. Antsy off the backboard. It's a little too eager from them, Galgan. Overtime in game number 3.
Well, I could claim to be a bit prophetic for making it to this overtime. I'm not sure we made it here quite on the merit that I thought we would, but it never ends. The torment continues on for these teams. There's plenty of opportunities that should be scored are not, and should not be scored are. What a save, however, as that's kept out. Antsy once more, but a double to clear it away for WPI.
Realm. Oh, he completely missed it. Astrobotic once again playing with fire. Was surely going to go past him if Realm found the shot underneath. Dulix with a miss now. They secure the 100 boost. Ace trying to 1v3, not going to get through Banana. Ripe for the picking, goes forward with the shot, but that's going to go wide. Up and onto the backboard, away it goes. Ace, Dulix, watches and waits. Astrobotic doesn't exactly get the touch. Ansi looking for that near post shot. Ace with the top shot, goes off the crossbar, peppering this net, and they still can't find the breakthrough.
So many of JWU's pushes have had everything about them, but that last little touch of accuracy, it's all they need at times, as Ace blocked out, but still relevant in the corner. No boost left in the tank to exhaust. This one fairly open. Ansi gets a strong challenge out of it, and Ace with a boost steal will connect to keep the ball somewhat relevant. The defense is scrambled here for WPI as overtime continues to tick down. Ansi does not connect, however. Open ball for Ace to launch right back. Ansi surely wants some of this. Banana trying to get the clear away, and now things are starting to connect for both teams. The margin of error growing more and more slim as we continue on. Fantastic save against the run of it, however.
The defense is scrambled, but who's going to end up with egg on their face? Who's going to poach the win? 2 minutes left still, and it's JWU in the ascendancy. A release on the gas valve once again for the orange team. Here comes the shot from Banana, top beans, saved away by Ace, out and away.
You gotta watch those sidewall giveaways right here. WPI are ready and waiting for you to just try and clear it through. They've taken so many shots now from JWU, just sending it to the sidewall and thinking, oh, we'll get to this ball later. It's okay, we've got a little bit of space. But right there is a player from WPI. Here goes Astrobotic, who's trying to push from the corner. Tough one for Ace to read. Does connect right out, but it's well received by Perfectly Edible Banana. Challenge here from Ansi, strong enough, but all of a sudden, WPI are flipping the tables, flipping the script here quite a bit. Perfectly Edible Banana plays this one down, not to any help, but still to a bit of a difficult spot here for JWU. Ansi with a beautiful second touch, however, and all of a sudden we're going back the other way. Big reaction save to make, but a nice redirect. Test them again.
They really are just, they're the crash test dummies at the moment. They're waiting for the impact and they're hoping that they can recoil. Ace stopped by Astrobotic. Realm not stopped by Astrobotic, but doesn't get a piece of the ball himself. Doesn't get a piece of the keepers either. Bumped away, Ansi. Dulix takes him out. Forward they go, Astrobotic, but it's loose. Straight into the midst of Ace. Forward, looking for the double tap, not going to find it. There's Realm. It's a soft one, though, a bit any more power than that. And we're talking about game over.
Oh, and they're still somewhat relevant. Ansi has bought so much time here for JWU, but they don't find it. A pass through, a clear is all they need, but look at how much space. Surely you've got to draw up something for the offensive playbook, but running out of time. Big challenge, and Realm called into action. We continue to tick up on this overtime clock, nearing 4 minutes. Ansi with a quick jump under the ball, however, not going to be worth anything to connect with. Dulix looking for the center. Ansi's there ready and waiting. Shot is not on target, but the defense will have to react quickly yet again for WPI, put in this awkward spot more than a couple times right now by JWU. Realm has another look to the back wall, jumps up high, up against two, and the clear is soft, but seen through for the time being. Back and forth. Ansi is just biding time right here, ready to receive and launch at the bottom corner.
Doesn't matter how long this overtime goes on for Galgan, it is clear which team is the most prolific. It is clear which team is the most likely to score, and I love that they're playing with the time at hand as well. They're analyzing, okay, what are the escape vectors that WPI are trying to utilize here? They're waiting for those moments. They're stepping into the right channels, the right lanes to get their shots away, or to try and feed players so that this orange team doesn't stop feeling the pressure. But my goodness me, are they dealing with the pressure beautifully, stoically, sternly. But are they going to be able to nick the win away? Looking very unlikely from where I'm sitting.
All it takes is one mistake from either side in theory, but more so for WPI defensively. Just one little slip up and the shot surely finds its way through. JWU have been doing excellent to keep the pressure relevant here. Wait and bide their time for the ball to be received well into their hands, right into their wheels, as Ansi tries to go high, beats one, now has a challenge against Dulix, gets it to center, but Ace committed too early, and the shot doesn't come through. Ansi's got one boost in the tank, so not a very strong center. Realm blocked off. Plenty of people commit, but now it's a one-on-one. Perfectly Edible Banana tries to play it patiently, but grabbing getting enough of a piece of it there was Ace. And the clear sees its way through. WPI haven't had too many looks at the blue target just yet, but you have to wonder whether one will be threatening enough.
JW not even playing with a midfield. They're not going to need it. Finally, they get that quality shot away. It's Ace with the win in that non-existent midfield that I was about to talk about. Ansi up. Great redirection on the ball, utilizing the mechanics that he's clearly got at his disposal. That's a massive win for JWU. Heartbreaking, of course, for WPI Crimson. But look at that shot counter, Galgan. You can't say it wasn't coming.
21-6. Excuse me, a 15-shot difference. I know we played over 10 minutes of Rocket League in that game, and I know, much like I said earlier on while we were watching this series, it's only worth one game. That means JWU going on to match point, it is 2-1 to them in the series currently. It's only worth one game, but to circle back to that talking point that you and I mentioned so much, that was JWU's game. I mean, there's only so much that you put on them for not ending things earlier. The fact that they maintained so much pressure and WPI Crimson had to fight tooth and nail for every opportunity and could not score when afforded to. I mean, obviously put on a solid show defensively given the onslaught that they were facing, but JWU most certainly deserved to win this game.
21 shots. Let's have a round of applause for WPI's defense, though, coming out with the 16 saves. I mean, that is an extraordinary effort from all three of those players. Banana in a private lobby, we should add, almost racking up 1,000 score. In fact, both he and Dulix outscoring in terms of their personal score, that is, on the field, their personal performances, outdoing everyone on JWU Yellow, and even Astrobotic, who didn't exactly have the easiest of times, not too far away. It was just an extraordinary match of Rocket League, which, of course, if you look at it in the microcosm of that overtime, was very, very one-sided, but they had their opportunities, they had their chances, and let's not also avoid the fact that they managed to, from their only 6 shots on target, convert 2. That's not bad innings, and I certainly hope that we have a bit of a tech issue, as I'm sure you've been able to gather, folks. Hopefully, we'll be able to work past this to watch what could be the final game, or what could be a thrilling game 4 to force game 5.
It certainly could be. I mean, the jury is still out. My jury is still out. I'm not sure where we're headed. Every indication of game number 3 would suggest that it's going to be JWU taking things home right here and now. But you bring up a good point. You know, able to score 2 out of 6 shots. That's not the worst ratio that we've seen from any team. 33% in a threes game, especially in the emergence division. You know, I think it's equally impressive to see the saves come out for the side, and it turns out we are in game right now, working with the scoreboard provided with us. We can only assume that the teams are level at this point in time, with about a minute and a half ticked off the clock. Again, game number 4, JWU currently leading the series and on to the first match point of this particular fixture. We'll see if they maintain the same high level of aggression and pressure they had all game 3 long, because if they do, surely they feel confident enough to avoid Champions Field.
Yeah, so welcome then to game number 4, our overlay sponsored by Wall Street in the 90s, it looks like. Honestly, I joke, I jest. Massive shout out to our wonderful production staff, who they have so many things on their plate today. It's unreal. They're doing a great job. Please go and give them all the love in the world, because it's an experimental day. We're looking at a bunch of different matches. We keep on rolling with the vibes, and rolling forward is Edible Banana. Almost finds himself with that opening goal, and we've reached half-time, Galgan. Great to see WPI on these evenly numbered games coming back with a vengeance.
Exactly. On the other side, JWU not really punching with the same efficacy that we had seen in the previous game of this series. A couple of challenges they have to find in the middle of the field. Fairly open for Antsy, however, but the pass forward for Ace. However, Antsy just lurking, waiting for that ball to calm down a little bit, and then ripping a monster from the middle of the field. Defense goes, huh? Antsy? Shot? And it's already in the back of the net before they even perceive it.
It's one of those every cloud has a silver lining sort of affairs where Ace absolutely didn't mean to do that. That was a stumble over the shoelaces pass in the end. But Antsy reacts quickest, and that is exactly what you want from your leading striker. As Yo-Yo, it looks like, I believe, is back in the lobby. An interesting choice. I hope that he's bringing with him a great mentality. Certainly holding out strong in the opening 2 minutes. A nice pop over one here. Looking a lot better for the player who only scored 84 points in that game number 1, taken out for his troubles as well. WPI Crimson, they got to find a goal, Galgan, otherwise that is a loss for the week.
And with 100 seconds to play, the outlook is starting to grow dim, but it certainly is all eyes specifically on Yo-Yo here to have a bit of an impact. Perfectly edible banana as well as Duelix have been getting their fair share of pressure here, but Demolitions reign supreme, and Yo-Yo has been caught out a bit too far forward. Too much faith that the clear wasn't coming through, but it is perfectly on target for Realm.
Ace sets it up. It's funny that he actually almost got in the way of that clearance, which ended up as a goal. But taking out that second player, Yo-Yo's moving up, expecting that second player to, still be present in the final third by the time he gets to where he wants to be. Just an unfortunate mistiming of the situation, and it's certainly unfortunate timing for WPI Crimson. That's now 2-0 with only 70 seconds left on the clock. Again, they've been looking good. They've been looking better in that final third, but they still can't find their shooting boots this one wide.
The opportunity right there, but like you say, they leave it go. Realm has plenty of time to get the clear away, and JWU are back on their high horse. It is Ace to get the third here. The counter is strong. Antsy, it's the threat of what Antsy could possibly do, and just a tough miss to read there from Duelix. Ace takes advantage, and a third goal, potentially the dagger in the series.
This overlay is so Windows 98. I absolutely love it. And I imagine that the da-na-na-na-na-na is going to be what JWU are going to be singing should they manage to maintain this 3-0 scoreline. WPI requiring a miracle and then some to get back into this game, let alone the series. 3 goals just to go to overtime. And we know how long the last one indeed managed to run. That said, some joy forward here, but again, strong defense from Realm. The counter-attack not exactly going to be fulfilling here as Yo-Yo steps in the way. Decent ball, Realm misses. That's got to be on target, and unfortunately, it is not.
It seems as though WPI Crimson may have powered down a bit too early here. That was a horrible recreation of the shutdown noise, but
it's okay. It's okay. You won't get like DMCA'd or anything. It's fine.
Fair enough. Series is over, however. Ball hits the ground swiftly, and JWU, a bit of a shake-up there. Maybe not expecting the challenge that they had, but a pretty convincing 3-1 result here, looking strong in the games that we spectated, and they will be happy to advance to 2-0 in this division.
And potentially as well, we look at the overall narrative as well, of course, in the Emergence New England. And perhaps you would have said, based on that one previous result, JWU, they won a game by 2, or they won a series by 2 games and the other didn't. But this is so early in the season that you can never really tell what the actual pecking order is. Even as early as week 1, anomalous results can emerge in the Emergence. And JW Yellow, I think, honestly, putting a lot of fears to bed. That was a really entertaining series, a fantastic game number 3 that went the distance and then some, but it did feel like a bit of a backbreaker game as well. I was worried after holding out for so long to then still lose is a really tough one to take. Mix in the fact that they shook up the lineup once again with another substitution. All the elements in place there to sadly see this series in JWU's favor.
And we sing this tune at the beginning of every season, right? This is the time where you get everybody to play, you get your subs some playing time experience, try and build yourselves up for the end of the season. But these flip-floppy results, it happened with the first series we saw. We saw the Holy Cross Crusaders, who fell in a sweep in week 1, get a sweep victory of their own in week 2. So these teams all depends on how they're feeling the day of, and certainly can't read everything about who they are based on how they play tonight. But what you can read from JWU, very solid. I was thoroughly impressed with the offensive pressure they held all throughout that series.
Well, Galgan and I, we're going to be taking a bit of a breather. Be sure to stay where you are, folks, because NECC, hey, guess what? We're trying something. It's sort of like a viewing party sort of situation. We got Rocket League. It's cool show. It'll be coming back with you after this.
Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here and we are live to bring you a little NECC Rocket League action. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with my man Pyro J. The right way? There you go. The Pyro J.
You got
Pyro,
it.
how we doing today?
Great. We've had this fiesta of Rocket League, sort of like you go to a Super Bowl and there's all kind of appetizers you get to pick and choose and fit what fits the bill. And we've got two matches here that we're going to be tuning into for the final round of the night. Two great collegiate matches. Tugboat. I believe our first game, Kansas State and Mizzou Club A, is already in action.
Absolutely. We had our wings, we had our nachos. Now let's get a little Kansas State and Mizzou action at the Super Bowl party. Woo. Kansas State comes here in the series. Teams so far, this is going to be a nice little from them.
All right. Well, I think we dropped in right on time here, Tugboat. I gotta say, their first goal, we got the replay, and it's perfect. It's kind of when you grab that first chip and kind of dip it in the queso, but it's got that extra spice, you know? You really wake up when you enter here, and hey, Kansas State, just probably the start of this game that they're looking for.
Exactly. Frosty Cheese trying a little something across the middle right here. Nice hit. That's going to be perfectly slotted as Mizzou ties up this game 1-1. And again, I believe we just jumped into game number 2. Not 100% sure. We'll get confirmed on the other side. Once again, guys, if you've been watching us all here on the day, we are trying something a little bit new, a little bit fresh, a little bit fun. Be back with some more updated format and whatnot next week as well. We really appreciate you guys running through this, kind of enjoying the broadcast with us.
Yeah, we really do. Along for the roller coaster, and boy, we've got some highs coming up here, that's for sure. Maybe a little bumps in the road too. A demolition clearing the lane for Mizzou Club, who's trying to fly this down the sideline. It seems as if the scoring line, as soon as it was opened, it allowed for a lot of physicality to prevail. It allowed for a lot of shot lanes to appear, and yeah, everyone's going no holds bar here, which is what you like to see, especially as we're winding down to that final minute here.
Oh yes, 60 seconds left in this tied up game right here. Shot over, and that's just a little bit to the outside. Red here for Kansas State. Pushing this back one out to the middle. Orbs, BT dubs for Kansas State. Now waiting in the wings right here until Red takes a shot at this one. Nice hit back on over, but this is going to center this one up decently. Mizzou should be able to play this until Orbs. Nice redirect. That's going to be kicked back on out to the left side. Mizzou trying to get on the offensive.
Yeah, definitely a chance here, but, you know, I wouldn't say there's a fire underneath them to make sure the goal goes in, right? There's always that overtime, of course, of Mizzou. Maybe in a position where they just need to fend off this barrage of shots, because Kansas State, they look amped up to get this point in during regulation time. Ball popped up here. Teji, good control on the top of their octane, but not for long. Down in front from the middle. RED not going to take a nab at it. There's one touch. Here comes a second. No, the ball rests right on the ground, and indeed, we've got overtime.
Little OT action early on in this series. Not against it. Red stops this one. Its tracks right there. That was looking rather dangerous against the Kansas State squad. Still a little bit of offense on. Mizzou manages to push this over to the left side. Now Orb's going to be trying to bring this one out. Back hit, 33 on point, but a defender is there and barely has to move. Also, folks, we're getting confirmed. This is game numero uno. We're in overtime.
Perfect. Then we haven't missed a dang thing, that's for sure. We haven't even missed a goal. RED, though, not trying to miss out on that opportunity for a clear, but Mizzou Club A already back at it. It's a good punch upfield and actually breaks through the defense. Here's a push downfield. Now there's a chance. RED, extra shot, maybe at the crossbar. Shot taker's there. It's on target, but Teji blocks away. Mizzou Club A, that offensive rotation broke down in a moment. You can see how Kansas State are primed to strike at any chance.
I'm just strike, sudden death OT situation. Sparks almost flies out at this one. Ends that quickly, but it is. Kansas State still in the offense. Nice hit, but that's a little bit off to the right side right now. Well, we got a 5.5-minute game of overtime, I believe, earlier on broadcast, and now another one in the beginning of this series. Mizzou Club, I think 33 kind of just like, you know what they say, you wait too long to make a decision makes you. That was a pretty solid offensive opportunity.
It was, and you wonder when that team is gonna risk it all, right? Because in overtime, you can keep paving the way for those long OTs, like you said, Tug, or you can pounce on the chance. You can be the first to strike and not wait for the other team to do it. That said, one mistake can present the opportunity, so who can be disciplined enough? I'll make that mistake. Of course, 33, that clear connected with another player from Kansas State. Could have gotten it downfield quickly. It's on the half-court line, going to be popped up to the midfield. Who will control that midfield during overtime? Kansas State certainly want to stake their claim there.
Speaking of Sparks right here, that's a nasty kickoff that could have gone against the way of Kansas State. Shot over in 33. Nicely done. Nice little run of their own right here, but no Kansas State members on the other side to kind of assist to that offensive pressure from 33. Red from the outside right here. Trying to clear this to the middle. It's decently on point. Forces the hand of the defender is 33. Once again, over here. Now Teji in the back. Going to be centered just a little bit. Oh, man. Heartbreak Hotel, man. Another half of a game of Rocket League coming on in.
It is, I think. Oh, silver platter after silver platter. These teams could be gobbling up these shot chances, but they lay there to, I don't know, collect mold. Listen, 3 minutes in overtime. We may have more on the docket. The way these teams are posturing, waiting patiently for somebody to make a mistake. It's just not coming out. This ball bottled up into the corner again and again, back and forth. Frosty does find a touch that makes the ball way a little bit out of it, and it is a good push here from Teji as well. Extra little boost to get down on the ground. This is stolen once again. Kansas State have been able to maintain some pressure here, but without escaping that corner and getting into the danger zone, they're left without shot chances.
Yeah, this has been a situation of capitalization on mistakes thus far, but then a couple here mentioned earlier are just kind of gifted on over, but the emphasis on defense doesn't, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense here in OT, but eventually this game must end. Somebody's got to go forth and really set up the teammates' offensive pressures. Right now, Teji, the real one up right here, back on out to the outside. Sparks over middle. That's going to be Teji waiting in the wings to try and get this one up. Frosty Cheese, the one who put it there. Big boost to be spoken of right now. That's going to be across the middle of the pitch, and nobody really getting aggressive in this as we approach another 5 minutes.
You know, I don't think anyone expected Frosty to stick around that ball, but the dodge made it so that Frosty could get the extra touch, and sometimes it's just that second touch is what's enough to catalyze an offensive opportunity. So keep an eye out for those creative plays. This pass off the backboard actually forcing 2 defenders. Could be an opening now for Mizzou Club A. Frosty wants to pounce. There's another shot taker, but it goes across to the side. Frosty cutting rotation again and again. I think we found our player that is done with the passive playing, that does not want to wait and have the patience. Frosty is attacking at every bite they can get.
You know, Red almost got a perfect pass to them, kind of interrupted right there, shot down, but didn't actually kind of make complete connection. Frosty Cheese. They'll come back to the rest of the squad right here. Sparks bringing it off the side until 33. Takes this one off right here. There's a shot bouncing up and over. Kansas State takes game 1.
Well, there you go. The backboard presents great real estate, and 33 wanted it all for the blue team. Knocks it down there as Orbs by the way. And well, we've got our first win in this best of 5. Kansas State come away with it in a long, drawn-out OT. Tug, unfortunately, we didn't beat the other broadcast. They got 5 minutes and 50 seconds. We were so close.
We were just so close. Closer to, well, I mean, still basically another Rocket League game right there. But taking a look at the numbers, you know what they had like 19 different shots, right? 19 different shots. We were staring down the barrel of 13 here for K-State, 9 over there for Mizzou. That's Club A, and really not that big a difference if you talk about like shot differentials. A lower scoring game like this, I think that kind of translates as well. Yeah,
surely it does. I mean, listen, you can rack up as many shots as you want. If you only have 2 goals in the span of 10 minutes of game time, that speaks to the defense more so for me. Like, look at the save counts, double digits, 10 on the side of Mizzou Club A. It's them simply exhibiting their perseverance against Kansas State, against sharpshooters, maybe like 33 and RED, but listen, it was orbs to get that read off the backboard. For Mizzou Club A, there's not really a star player to contain. It is everybody with that shot chance, and they've got to keep that in mind when the offense is really working out for Kansas State. So Mizzou Club A, they hold on long in game number 1, but can they hang on to the reins here in game number 2 between Kansas State and Mizzou Club A?
That was Frosty Cheese looking to start this one off in fine form. 5 minutes plus since Mizzou Team A did score a goal. Back on over to the middle. That's a solid hit, but stopped just in its tracks right there. Teji going to keep up this offensive here for Mizzou. Bounce play out. That's just an easy hit from 33. Back down into the bottom right, and 33 realizes the value of just sticking where you're at.
You know what? And that's great from 33 to stand their ground, but Mizzou Club A forcing everybody on that offensive try. I think they talked between this game 1 and game 2 and said, okay, we're not waiting around anymore. We're done. Let's play confidently. Let's show Kansas State what we're truly made of. I don't want to see anybody on that defensive half when we're attacking the backboard. So I like the press up early on. It forces Kansas State to sweat a little bit, but they're feeling it now. Shot off the crossbar. That woodwork gonna save Mizzou Club A for a second time. Kansas State can't get it under the crossbar. That third shot will be batted away.
Wow. Yeah, so back and forth we go. Only 3 total shots across like 11 minutes of gameplay right there. So this is still anybody's series, 100% in this best of 5. Club A, nice center. Nope, Orb's just the more easier pass across the middle.
All right, well, as we continue with this first game, folks, as we mentioned earlier, we've got 2 games on the docket here as game 2 continues for Kansas State and Mizzou Club A on the right side. You'll see we've got UBC White versus GFU Varsity. This game just beginning now. How are you liking this doubleheader view here, Tug?
No, I'm 100% about it. I'm 100% about it. If I said every touchdown, every game, would you get what I'm talking about here, Pyro? Best for sports entertainment out there. 100% about it. And we're not going to miss anything for you guys. Plenty of collegiate teams involved within the NECC. Why would we keep it just to 1? Or at least for us trying the new thing, right? I don't believe the NECC is going to go to exclusively this kind of look, guys. So fret not. Nicely done. That's going to be UBC White scoring first. Edge just barely gets this one in.
And this is why you don't want to miss a moment. You don't want to miss Edge skying up here and beating the defender to the ball. In fact, I think that was a mistake from the defense. Couldn't get the touch that they were looking for. Keep an eye out for UBC White. Maybe to be hot and ready in this match as opposed to GFU Varsity not getting the touches on defense that they were really looking for. Even on the left side, Kansas State getting some tries as well. I will say, Tug, today during RLCS, the NA Winter Cup, they had 8 games going on at once because of the group stages. I had a similar look, just like this, on my own stream, just to show off 2 games at once. So I already covered action just like this. You can see the left panel there showing off a little bit of those games. But yeah, the madness continues. And look at the left side here, Tug. Still no scoring between Kansas State and Mizzou Club A. Oh,
I think they heard you over there. I think George Fox University, that varsity squad, heard you right there. And just to draw our attention to the right side, so Teji can get something going. And what has been, to be fair, at least a longer example of a back-and-forth game. That's Kansas State and Mizzou. Kansas State now striking first here in their game 2. Just as confirmation, guys, in case you're just joining us, in case you're wondering what the heck is going on, what is on my screen? I'm lost, I'm confused, and I'm angry because of it. UBC White and GFU Varsity are in Game 1 of the Best of 5 series. Kansas State and Mizzou are in Game 2 of the Best of 5 series. Missouri State took Game 1 at a 2-1 scoreline, and that was an OT as well. Long OT as well.
Long OT, over 5 minutes long. And you know what? That was a 2-1 scoreline. Kansas State, Mizzou Club A, those 2 teams on the left-hand side, they hadn't scored until about 1 minute and 30, minute and 40 in game number 1. The same thing happened here in game number 2. They like this long, drawn-out playstyle, wait out the mistake, but Mizzou Club, hey, there's no waiting it out anymore. You got to push up, you got to press up. The final minute remaining for them to get something going. That's a big boomer towards
Nicely
the
done.
net. Well, Sparks is going to make it happen.
There you go. Sparks just exploding inside of this one. That's 33 trying to pass it down to Teji, I believe, on their squad over there. Not going to happen. A takeaway across the mid-pitch yields a tie ball game here in game number 2 in Kansas State, Mizzou 18. I don't know about you, but I would not want to miss either of these two games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hold on the right side of the screen. There it is. UBC White striking. They were at a bit of a stalemate here, but once that midfield play opens up, you can see how prime it is. A banger off the front of the Dominus. Oh, how much power it can provide. Massive there for UBC White. They take a lead, but more pressing really is this 30-second timer. I mean, listen, Doug, on the left side, they could go to another 5-minute overtime. That is true. But also, one goal could seal the deal.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that one way or another, one goal going to seal the deal for Kansas State and Missouri. This is either going to happen in the next 5 seconds or definitely not seeing anything else, or it'll definitely happen OT. No ties in the great game of Rocket League. UBC White still playing their advantage as we hit the volleyball situation. Kansas State, OT we go in game number 2. GFU varsity, that's George Fox University. The varsity squad has 100 seconds to tie this one back up. Sudden death left side, though.
Yeah, they're giving it their best go there for GFU varsity on the right side. I mean, even Jesse has a great chance here off the wall. Almost got the read on the defender as well. Seems like UBC White really trying to crowd all the defenders around the goal line and kind of guard the castle, if you will. Not allow anyone to get through. And listen, that strategy can absolutely work. And it's similar to what we've seen on the left side of your screen. Kansas State and Mizzou Club, they're happy to wait out mistakes. Oh, and there it is. Frosty is going to be credited with the goal here in overtime. It is not enough. Wow. Overtime goal, massive for Mizzou.
Wow, so Missouri loses game 1, a 2-1 overtime heartbreaker. Does the same thing back to K-State. A best-of-5 series boiled down to essentially a best-of-3. Teji actually with no shots attempted even. 7 shots total for them. That's going to be, what, 11 on the other side of Kansas State. So Kansas State even kind of coming out with that time of possession. That's advantage when you're talking about shots attempted. But right now, the eye goes on over to UBC White, GFU, and see if GFU can get not 1 but 2 insurance goal purchase for UBC White.
And you know what? I've been looking at GFU varsity. They are really pressing up the forces on the offensive end here. They are giving it every go they have because they know how much time is remaining here. They know that they can't even afford any time on the goal line. It's like when hockey, you pull the goalie, you got to move forward. But UBC White so resilient to the effort. Edge had no boost there. The ball's off the backboard. Could be a shot here. Still deflected. Unbelievable. UBC White, they're going to take that strong defensive stance and turn it into a game-securing goal.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we talked about the insurance earlier. That is written, set in stone, people. 4-1 right here, 13 seconds to go is technically only barely enough time to score 3 times. That'll basically require UBC White to put down their controllers. That ain't going to happen. Definitely not in a barn burner game 1 like this. GFU, George Fox, just going to have to look towards the next couple. Is that Teji right here, left side?
Ooh. Oh.
Wow, so Teji comes off of an overtime performance, an overtime win, even with 0 shots attempted, but Missouri taking the lead now. So UBC White seals the deal in game 1.
You know what? I think I understand now why Teji had no shots registered. It's because when they do shoot, they score. 100% shot conversion. That's the second there and the second in.
Wow, just like that. It's been, what, 7 minutes or something like that previous game. Teji spent 20 seconds. No time like the present here, Pyro. Go forth, take a lead. Insurance goal not purchased the other way. Kansas State's policy has been torn up, expired.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's as if the sleeping giant has been awoken. And now for Kansas State, you got to worry. You got to find that secret potion, that secret weapon. I don't know, something that's going to contest against Teji in this Mizzou Club, a team that is firing on all cylinders. Is this still the same team, Tug? Or have they implemented AI to convert the most optimal shots we've ever seen?
I think this is really just a Missouri squad that was able to really kind of rally after that game number 1, figure out exactly what it is that they wanted to do, and that's part of the reason why we saw at least a shorter overtime game 2. My, oh my, whatever it is between 2 and 3, though, they figured out is going to be beautiful. Kansas State brought both of these games to a score difference of 1. They are now down by 4 with, 3 minutes to go?
Yeah, even more than 3 minutes to go at this point. Whoa.
Wow.
4 minutes. Yeah. Well, time could be on the side of Kansas State if you do want to make this comeback. That's just a goal per minute, certainly possible in the game of Rocket League, but when everything is weighing against you here, and maybe a 5th goal is right on the docket. Doomsy dish from Frosty. Nice work, and I have to credit Frosty on the goal previous as well. It was a dip to the right side past the first defender. It was a flick past the second, and then off the pass, tried to get a bump on the third defender. Frosty is making nonsense of the defense right now from Kansas State, and it's putting Kansas State in an abysmal situation.
Yeah, it really is. Really is. We've seen 6 total goals in the first 2 games, and of course, when I'm talking about first 2 games, I'm talking about 11 minutes of gameplay in the first one, and I'm talking about 7 minutes of gameplay in the second one, and we're already at 5, barely, not even 90 seconds into this game. UBC White, GFU is still fighting this one to the brink, though. Nice shot! Oh, barely blocked. It's eclipsed! And Aries! They get some favor from the gods on this one.
Well, for GFU varsity having conceded quite a few goals there, 4 in total in game number 1, it is important to come out hot in game number 2. GFU varsity, they do manage that, and now they have a lead working into this game. Maybe it's a 2-goal lead here. Quick save from UBC White. I've got to admit, Tug, my eyes just gravitate towards the right-hand side of the screen because I don't know if there's any hope of Kansas State coming back in that game 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. The good news is we are just about halftime, and Kansas State still has the same amount of time that Missouri did to have 5 goals put up. It's just going to be incredibly hard given that Kansas State's put across 3. Again, those first 18 minutes of gameplay. Nothing happening in the first half of this one for them, taking on over UBC GFU. Aries, the solo scorer here in this game 2, looking to get involved. Just kind of sitting on the backside right now is Hystrix. Uncharacteristic miss on this one.
Yeah, that one a little bit tough there, but there's always reinforcements. Maybe not. There's a demolition on the field, actually. And GFU varsity on the right-hand side of your screen, folks, definitely needs to make sure they have the resources. They're averaging maybe 2 cars on the field at one moment. So many demos, so many eviscerations of cars. They just cease to exist for moments, and they are able to get out of their half. That is quality resiliency, I think, from GFU varsity to weather the demolitions, still bat away these balls.
There we go.
Not for long. Hystrix finds a lane.
Hystrix right here, just past halftime. I gotta say it. We are in the witching hour, where losses become wins and wins become losses. I'm sorry, Scott. Sorry, Scott Hansen had to take that one. I know people are gonna think that I came up with it now, so.
Hey, if anyone asks me, it was always you, Tug. It was
There you
always
go.
you.
It was always you, Tugboat. Sounds like a movie quote. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left on here. A tie ball game we have for UBC White and GFU. Perhaps just hemorrhaging on the left side, unfortunately, for K-State. Been quite a while since they put up a goal.
Has indeed. And you know what? I think at this point, you kind of do a ring around the rosy type deal where it's like, okay, we've accepted the fate. Let's move on. It's a best of 5. There's still chances to get back in the series. And maybe start to figure out and tune your guitar and start to make it sound a little good before you get out on stage and perform. I think that's a good consolation prize for Kansas State as they look to build their confidence in the next game.
No one likes to get shut out, and especially given these K-State Mizzou games have been so close. 2-1 for K-State first, 2-1 from Missouri in the second. This is just good for the mental right here, not getting shut out in a game 3 that is decided, though. technically enough time, but is decided for K-State. Tie ball game, 75 seconds here for UBC GFU. So that's going to be a nice hit up right there. Not even better defense, though. I believe that's Jesse trying to bring that one out. No! Wow, Rome Destroyer just thundering their way into this one.
I'm sorry, I have to say it. I love when 2 goals are scored at the same time. It's just, it's beautiful. 2 replays. I mean, what more could you ask for? This is exactly how Rocket League was meant to be consumed. Whoa, okay, a little bit of a scare moment there off of the kickoff. GFU varsity almost equalizing, wiping that lead away in sheer moments. UBC White trying to tack it on. I'm remembering how UBC White, they kind of found their finesse later on in the game number 1. Maybe they'll get some more late goals here just to secure that lead, secure that win. GFU varsity, gotta find a way to turn this around. Just half a minute left.
It's not a bad move here from Rome Destroyer by any means, but that was almost a really bad situation on the comeback here. I think Rome Destroyer is kind of just assuming the teammate would have been able to pick this one up on a little bit of a run, try to connect to the ground as well. That's a bad angle. UBC takes the insurance. 2-goal lead, 18 seconds to go. If you're GFU, obviously you still try at these, but the good news is that they just lost 4-1. That was a little bit brutal. Now losing this one 18 seconds ago might be heartbreaking, but still opportunity. Mizzou and Kansas State going on to game number 4 in just a second. 6-2, my goodness.
Yeah, tough loss there. Absolutely. We got to find out the final score here. Yep, you know what? With this ball on GFU's side, it's over. It's over. UBC White, they've done their job now. And UBC White, that's going to give them a 2-0 lead in the series. Mizzou, on the other side, with that win, giving themselves a 2-1 lead over Kansas State. They've been able to win games number 2 and 3 more convincingly. So, you know what, Tugboat? This puts us on match point for both sides. Mizzou Club, with 1 more win, takes the match against Kansas State, and with UBC's White game 3 win, can sweep GFU.
Yeah, I feel like the K-State and Missouri game has just been a little bit closer until this last. A 6-2 scoreline is absolutely brutal. That is more, in fact, than the total score differences between UBC White and GFU. GFU's just done a really good job of keeping these really close until the end of the game. It's just about that last 60 seconds of both of these games thus far. If they continue on there, they take that deficit a little bit later, I think GFU might be sealing the deal on a 0-3 loss, unfortunately, in sweep style. Kansas State, Missouri, 40 seconds into this one. Both teams have had a couple of chances at offense. Nothing going in hit and payload quite yet.
Something tells me Kansas State is already patting themselves off the on the back here. We are a minute into this game, and during game 3, they were down 0-3, 0-4 almost at this point in time. It's 0-0. It's still the clean slate. They've almost done their job to build their confidence back and say, okay, we found an equal footing in this series. I can't tell you how many Rocket League matches I've watched where just one of the games is an outpouring of goals for one team, and then they go back to status quo. Are you kidding me? 33, great shot, and reads the save.
33 looking more like 100 right here. That is everybody on the side of Missouri that has an honest attempt defensively at that ball. A screamer at a minute and 18 seconds in puts Kansas State in an early lead.
Does indeed. Mizzou Club A, what kind of response is there after scoring so much during the last game? It's funny, when they were up 5-0, sort of stalemate, and then Kansas State started working their way back. Speaking of working their way back, though, game 3 has begun on the other side, and UBC White, they're well on their way to closing this out in 3.
Yeah, so UBC White, Kansas State, both blue left side teams have taken early lead right here, much earlier for UBC White, though, so that's kind of good news here for GFU. As I say that, Frosty Cheese looking rather tasty here with a tied-up shot yet again. Perfectly slotted bottom right as well, right? Sparks gets this just right into the hands. Perfectly slotted.
It's what you need. It's what you need to offer a response to your opponent, to say, listen, I want you to have your head in a swivel. I want to put your team in a blender here. You better be looking left, right, up, down, center, everything for each goal. Well, folks, look on the right side of the screen for another goal. Okay, that is one on the board for GFU. They're not down and out quite yet.
No, they are not. Both games, possible last game of the series, are on match point. Are the yellow teams just like that? Spent about 20 seconds in a deficit or so, bringing this one right back to a tied game. 1-1 right here. Both of these squads. A lot more time for GFU, though. Nice takeaway there from Jesse. Pushing this one back on over to the right side. Kind of posturing a little bit. Picks up big boost on the way, but nice interruption of UBC. And what am I talking about? 33 going to be the one putting on points.
Listen, 33 is on non-stop patrol here. It's the air dribble, forcing defenders into awkward situations. One stop, one hit on the ball of the shot here from 33 against Kansas State is not going to be enough for Mizzou Club A. That's what 33 wants to say. That's the message sent here, is that you need reinforcements. You need a good touch on that save, or else you're going to get pounded there. Kansas State still with a lead, and looks like they're knocking on the door for another goal.
Both of these games being close, I'm fraught to decide which one to go with. That's an open net, though, as GFU brings this one back on up. Hey, our similarities doth end. Missouri down by 1, but it's going to be GFU now taking a lead in a situation they have not, and correct me if I'm wrong, not taking a lead yet.
Well, you might be right there. Oh, GFU varsity, I think you're correct. We just had more on the side of the left there.
Yeah.
Still, Kansas State amping up here. I mean, we thought maybe, okay, 2 games, both on match point. This could end right here. Yeah, not quite. The trailing teams now both with a lead on those last couple of goals. It presents a really interesting situation to extend both series here. Important for GFU, and so much much more for UBC White to work back. They're able to do that. That's Histrix, I believe, with the second goal this game.
Yeah, that was a Rome Destroyer really trying to get this, but all of that yielded was a really solid pass. Once again, hit Histrix right into the numbers. Exactly at halftime. Tie ball game, UBC White and GFU. GFU is still fighting for a lease on life. Some breathing room right here. That might be the nail in the coffin. Delivered it all the way. Aries. Might as well have wings on the back for that one. GFU varsity going to be striking back in beautiful form. Watch this, Pyro.
Ooh-wee. Back against the wall. GFU varsity perform at their best. And listen, I love that for GFU varsity, but they still got 2.5 minutes. Mizzou Club A, listen, 30 seconds to find 2 goals. We've seen Teji get 3 goals within a minute. Can they get 2 within half of that? They've got a possession to work with. They've even got this ball in the shot lane. It is defended. Frosty shot on target. It's in. 20 still with a chance.
Yeah, we are getting down to the last few seconds, down to the wire here for our NECC Week 2 showcase. 20-something seconds. Kansas State has purchased themselves a little bit of wiggle room, but really just needs to hold on right here, especially given that it's been a while since they've taken a game, and that was in overtime. This is not a situation that Kansas State wants to recreate.
It is not. 12 seconds. That's a dangerous touch there. Could help Mizzou Club A, but a massive clear from RED Red paints the picture of what could have been for Mizzou State. Kansas State, they get their win. They survive in the series. They'll bring it to 5, which will determine the series. What could still determine it all is this push from GFU varsity. They don't want to go down either.
Kansas State is red. Well, Red Rover, let's go on over to GFU varsity and UBC White. That is, again, the insurance purchased here and just in the nick of time. 11th hour situation for GFU. They're down 2-0 in the series, but up by 2, in this game number 3, a time when they just needed it. Honestly, if I'm Jesse, Aries, and teammate Love My Pancakes, I'm just wasting time at this point. This is such a dangerous situation. UBC White has proven that they're able to take these leads back, especially when it's in the last 60 seconds.
Couldn't agree more. And what makes it even more dangerous is the fact that UBC White, they've had that late game fever. all series long. So GFU Varsity, I mean, they're working at maybe UBC White performing at their best right now, especially when they know they need to score. They've even got possession here as well. Careened on the sideline. They do find one touch in there for a shot taker. Jesse, grinding right around that. GFU Varsity, that's a massive clear for them. Takes all kinds of time off the clock.
Yeah, and again, name of the game. Every time this ball gets foisted way up like that, hits this top part of the ceiling, basically, you're talking about 5 seconds off right there. UBC White, they basically have to pinch this in right here and right now and then go to a kickoff with 2 seconds to go or so. That ain't gonna happen. GFU Varsity will not go so quietly into that good night.
No, they will not. That late game fever from UBC White just never came in for game number 3. GFU Varsity earned that insurance goal, and well, hey, maybe they didn't need to pay for insurance after all, but they'll get the win. They'll take it. And listen, you're not going to see another game on this Kansas State Mizzou Club A, folks. This is game number 5. This is for all the marbles, and we get to see between Kansas State and Mizzou Club A who deserves to be on top.
Who deserves it will be determined right now. And taken Teji yet again. Didn't see him so much in the earlier games. Missouri, the absolute shot taker right now is Teji. Red gets nothing more than a front row seat to that one. The crying tears here soon.
Might be, but time to wipe them off and get right back on the field, Buster, because there's more game time to
Yes,
go. RED already on the ball as well. You know what? Teji opening up the scoreline. Very dangerous for Kansas State. That was the player to score the first 3 for Mizzou Club A. When that player starts to get on fire, they are unstoppable.
They really are, really are. Pie time now, 3-1-4 for Kansas State, Missouri. They're up 1-0 as we go to, again, another match point game between GFU Varsity and UBC White. Excuse me, what am I talking about? Frosty Cheese, proving that they should be the one talked about.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? It wasn't Teji that scored, but it was Teji that forced the defenders to get out of the way for the incoming shot of Frosty. Great pressure there for Mizzou Club A. I mean, you know, we talked so much about those teams on the left-hand side, Tugboat, about how, you know, they played so patiently and, we had that 5-minute overtime that just took forever. No one would score. We are so far gone from that. That isn't even in the same universe as shots are being fired away. That one right off the crossbar. So close for Kansas State.
Really is. Really is. Bad news is that Kansas State is, like, staring about 10 seconds away from halftime. Perfect pass, a slow roller. There you go. That's bringing it back to 1 right there. Now you want to talk about teams kind of acted a little bit pensively here. UBC White and GFU Varsity. I think UBC White just got a point proven to them from George Fox University, and that, once again, is not only we can take games by more than 1.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact. Listen, the scoring is hitting some pretty high potentials right now. Kansas State wants to tack on that score line, as they will. Ball comes up real high there. And it will be slotted back to the midfield. That demolition could open something up for Kansas State. Pass down to the infield. Shot from RED. Going to be taken wide. They've seemed to hit a bit of a stalemate here, at least for the moment, as the same thing going on with UBC White and GFU.
Standard stuff. NECC Week 2 Showcase continues to give you guys absolute paramount excitement. UBC White, though, making a little bit of a statement right here. It's been edge. Now, Rome Destroyer did put this one up, of course, but a little bit of fakey action right there. Puts this one down, and Defender can't even pre-jump at it.
Yeah, that threat of just being in the air is so dangerous for GFU, and they have to react to it with every single touch. This touch on the left-hand side gonna be enough. 33 ties the match up. And again, it's threatening wherever you look here, Tug. It's all breaking loose.
That it is, that it is. Shots on shots on shots. 100 seconds here for Kansas State and Missouri. The classic 100-second drill, I don't know, but tied game, tied series. There will be a winner, there will be a loser. Teji, though! Oh my goodness, that was all the way down. Is that on point? That's a good angle. How does Orbs even do this?
Well,
Give me an
replay,
answer!
please.
I'm just kidding.
I think he came from inside the goal and decided to bang it through. That's what Orbs did, but what did GFU do to take the lead? They get it right past Rome Destroy, who was their biggest threat earlier. So, Kansas State with a lead. GFU Varsity with a lead. They could pull it to game 5, but Kansas State already in that situation, already wants to take the series win. Whoa.
Replays on replays. What more could you people want? Are you not entertained? 3-3 for Kansas State, Missouri. It was 17 seconds ago. It was tied up 2-2. GFU, though, looking like making a contender for a Game 5 situation, down by 2 right now. This isn't the same kind of situation where they just need to waste time out. George Fox does, Pyro. This is still play your Rocket League game. It's a completely different situation than the situation we see on the left side.
Yeah, it really is. Listen, Kansas State Mizzou Club A, after 4 full games, after almost a complete, pretty much the length of 5 games since game 1 went to a 5-minute overtime. They have learned everything about each other. Now it's time to put everything on the field. Everything you have. Sparks gives that on the shot. Very powerful. Lot there. Shot from Histrix on the other side will go loose. I'm trying to keep track of it all. It's real close, but oh boy, with 30 seconds, one single goal could do it for Kansas State off the crossbar. A beautiful flick, but it's just not enough.
Like that's top bar, crossbar, every single bar hit on that one. Reminds me of college here, Pyro. Ay, yuck, 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 yuck. 18 seconds to go here, 3-3. 15 seconds. Now right side, middle pitch here for Kansas State and Missouri. Do we go to an overtime in Game 5? Is it even possible? We have the legal right with which to do so. After 3, or this would be the 3rd overtime, of course, but centered up. Teji right there, keeping the hopes and dreams of Missouri alive in overtime.
Overtime, it is extra time. In Game 5, it is OT. And listen, kickoff shenanigans, they've come out very quickly. We could see a goal right away. Stopped by 33. Oh, and saved by Kansas State. That's going to buy them a little bit of time.
Now, folks, we're just going to be focusing on this Kansas State-Missouri overtime game. GFU has a lot to lose right here if they're not going to push this one on into a Game 5. 25 seconds or so, though. 33. Back down bottom left side. Red just beating feet just to try to beat Teji on this one. But now Kansas State on the defense, and Frosty almost ends this one with an execution-style headshot, but barely misses this, and defender gets it on. Missouri now back into the offense, bringing this one across. Believe that's Teji right there, bringing this one up. Red actually centers this one up. A nice shot, and that's it! Missouri has done it!
Bullet after bullet. Sparks and the team of Mizzou have destroyed the armor of their opponents. So impressive. And that's going to do it. Mizzou Club A defeat Kansas State after ripping that overtime goal. That is the complete win. Mizzou Club A in Game 5 overtime. It doesn't get more intense than that, or Tugboat does it, because it looks like with the strong lead of GFU Varsity that we got another Game 5 on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, 5 scores required for UBC White to stop the Game 5 situation here. This is more just kind of a time ticker down situation for UBC White and George Fox University. This is, of course, the University of British Columbia, so we're staring down the barrel of an international competition. Once again, guys, Week 2 showcase in NECC, Rocket League action all over the place, Game 5s, more overtimes in a best-of-5 series than not. Unsure what else you could possibly want. Please, your organization. Big shout-outs today on our production staff, of course. That is Storm Warriors, Olex, Little Gator Melon action as well, making our jobs as casters just so much easier, and we do appreciate this. The hemorrhaging has stopped. The bleeding is over. We have a Map 5 situation here on our hands for UBC White and George Fox University.
Oh, we do indeed. And you know what? It's hard to determine where this is going to go, because we had a very strong win on the other match, and we saw how even it got on the next game. So yes, GFU Varsity fight back in monstrous fashion, but this is the same team that lost by more than 1 goal in the first 2 games. Seemed to be that this series would be over in game number 3, but no. Here we are taking it. There you see Champions Field. be what it is to determine this match. We're going to game 5.
That we are. If we're taking a look at the differences that we have at hand, gotta look at these shots attempted, right? 3 for Jesse, 4 for Aries. But Love My Pancakes comes in with just the defensive performances. Now, generally, I feel like a Rocket League team better, like well-rounded when every player is kind of playing different positions. And UBC White might be kind of showing the edge that really got them those game 1 and game 2 victories. 4 shots Edge, 3 shots Rome Destroyer, 3 shots High Strix. That tells me there's just a very well-rounded Rocket League team. But hey, far be it I to complain if it's working. Don't knock it if it ain't broke.
That's right. Basically, listen, this is what we want. This is what we're going to ask for here is game number 5. And exactly like you said, maybe they do just have to play the roles that lie before them. If you're the shot taker, great. If you're the savior, fantastic. Play that role to the best of your ability. And if that's what GFU Varsity need to do to make this game 5 work, then they most certainly play those roles. Well, someone's the enforcer today, that's for sure, because a demolition is going to clear a shot.
Yeah, so 5 seconds into this one, I do believe that is not necessarily our quickest, like our fastest shot, but our quickest in the time of, or in the sense of how much time it took to get it from a kickoff. 5-second goal on this one. UBC White puts forward a solid little foot forward.
Yeah, that's massive. UBC White want to set the tone early, as they most certainly have. Edge, being that goal scorer, couldn't get the touch on the backboard, so hey, maybe that shot looked perfect, but that doesn't compose a perfect player. Still mistakes to be had and to take advantage of if you're GFU Varsity. Ball across the width of the field. It's going to be taken down by Rome Destroyer. Love the Pancakes. Sets it down to the midfield. We're seeing these players a bit more highlighted here with the one panel view, Tug. I like this. Getting that extra player POV to see exactly how they're performing and seeing those mistakes on the goal line as well. No defender on 4 wheels here as Aries strikes.
Can you be surprised? Aries is, after all, the goddess of beautiful shots.
Oh, man. You got me there, Tug. I mean, listen, that's exactly what we saw, and that's exactly what Aries did. But, you know, does the beauty hold throughout the whole game 5? Because GFU Varsity, listen, they're going to need more than just one.
Aries was the god of war. Excuse me. I guess that was actually an easier saying. I could have sworn that. Well, there's a goddess of beauty out there. I don't know which one it is though. 60 seconds or so into this one, tie ball game yet again. But again, just unsurprised saying that out loud about a UBC White and GFU Varsity squad that's gotten down at this point. Now, if you ask me after game 2, I'd say yeah, well, maybe not. We would have gone to one box a little bit earlier, but. No, fantastic stuff from George Fox. His tricks right here, trying to get something going against them. Not going to happen as easily. Edge down bottom. Little demo action across the mid pitch, so UBC White's down to 2 for right now. Aphrodite, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yep. Listen, I don't know my gods and goddesses, but I know my Rocket League, okay? I know an Octane from Indominus, and that's all I really need to be here, okay, Tug? So I'm going to stick to that. We got a Fennec.
Like it.
Aries is rocking here. That we'll see. Oh, Jesse. That actually is the new decal that just came out there on the Octane. Making it work in style, in high fashion. And, well, both teams contending for this midfield pressure. You can see they're wasting no time getting to the extra touch. Rome Destroyer even trying to work this ball from the ceiling, but it will not pierce through that GFU defense.
Hit that ball about as hard as I would have expected to pierce the ceiling there for a second. Trying to play something off of right there, but this is really just a result of 2 teams that have tried just about everything. And not that it's not working, but just I think they've kind of realized a lot about each other of this 5-game series. There's little left to really be surprised as I say that. Aries coming through yet again.
Can't stop this player at this point. Listen, it's Love My Pancakes to play disruption, okay? And listen, the bump play helps tremendously, but notice the boost steal as well. That's disruption in the form of make your team lack resources and having that resource control. So I like what GFU Varsity is doing on the ball. Aries has done a great job finishing these shots, but the off the ball work, that is paramount right now for GFU Varsity. See how they continue that disruption play to hold on to this lead.
Aries, a big shot scorer so far down bottom and gets it. Oh man, just off the top. That's gonna be the teammate right there. 2 minutes left in this 2-score lead, excuse me, for the side of GFU Varsity.
Now, when Aries hit that ball off the crossbar, before it hit the crossbar, I just assumed it was going in. Aries, time and time again, in this game number 5, has been so clinical in the shot taking. But you know what? Maybe it was all written and drawn up that way, because the follow through from Love My Pancakes was just as smooth as it needed to be for GFU Varsity to extend their lead. 2 minutes remaining in game number 5. This is the one that determines it all between UBC White and GFU Varsity. And UBC White, oh, that's a shot maybe they needed.
Yeah, I can't be surprised. I feel like these game 5 situations always kind of yield a pressurized situation. As we talked about, pressure creates diamonds, iron sharpens iron, and somebody has to come forth, really step up that offensive performance right there. 2 goals Aries, and the 3rd goal assisted. Again, doing everything in a bag of chips for the George Fox University squad. This game 5 situation. Edge flipping, turning, beating feet to get down to this one. Try and set up a teammate, but nice stop right there, at least for the time being. UBC White's players aren't really on the good angles right now. Strix forced to flip out to this one. 60 seconds left for the University of British Columbia Whites. Game 5 lives.
This is where it counts. This is where these rocket-powered battle cars gotta battle on and make this war theirs. But listen, UBC White, they just can't get these shots to fall. GFU Varsity, they've always got a defender ready to leap at any assignment. It's worked tremendously for them. Half of this last minute already gone, and it's GFU Varsity pushing up instead. Off of the wall it comes. It's not caught there by that player, but Aries is going to give it up. Good pinch off the sidewall. Still struggling is UBC White to get anything out towards the other end. Another demolition. Another stop is going to do it here. GFU Varsity, they've done enough to claw their way back. The reverse sweep will be completed for GFU Varsity. Games 3, 4, and 5 won by this team to defeat UBC White.
Crazy stuff, like you said, the reverse sweep all the way through there from the end of game 2. Just to run through these scores for you guys again, right? University of British Columbia, the white squad, comes in 4-1 in game number 1. It was looking like 3-1 for a long time. They got that last score there. 3-1 for almost the entirety of the game 2. And this is just looking dismal, straight up dismal for the side of George Fox University. George Fox brings it back 4-2 fashion in game 3, and that was the beginning of the end, Pyro.
Yeah, I think that's where, listen, there can be a tidal wave, a push, where things just sort out the better way for the other team. And that reverse sweep was massive there for GFU. But hey, I still want to give credit over to Mizzou Club A, who clutched it out there towards the end over Kansas State. Talk about what more can you ask for than for 2 banger game 5 matches here for NECC?
Yeah, seriously. Got the 2 box up here for you guys so you can kind of witness both of these. And I got to say, it's so awesome that it kind of started out like Kansas State, Missouri was neck to neck the entire time right here. But cannot say the same for UBC White and George Fox University. Get the 2 box pressure right here. Bring it back again. Full on reverse sweep action. Love to see it. Love to see it. That's going to be about it from us over here. Myself, FBI Tugboat, and Pyro J. Want to give a shout out again to our production staff, TOs, everything else like here with the NECC for making this possible. And for you guys, I know that there was a little bit of back and forth and broadcast and whatnot earlier, a little bit of longer delays and whatnot. We're really going to be working on this format because I really do believe that it kind of brings you guys more of the action in a better way with more players and teams getting coverage. And that is what the NECC is about. Anything else for the good people before we bid them adieu, though, Pyro J?
Hey, just thanks for the action. I think you guys laid it all out on the line. It takes grit to be able to go the distance in a best of 5 and take it all the way to Champions Field. And listen, that's what the players are made of, these collegiate players that want to compete in NECC. So nothing but gratitude towards the players and everyone for NECC.
Exactly. Exactly. We'll be back with you guys. More Fire to Esports action. Believe there's some stuff this weekend, but regardless, next week, back to NEC stuff. You're talking about Valorant, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, excuse me, and of course, Rocket League. Believe some League of Legends action as well. You can check out exactly what that is and when it's going down over on the NEC's website and on their Twitter. FBI Tugboat, Pyro J, we are out. Thank you guys for watching.